And now, to start off this week's edition of CINEKYD Theater, here is your hearsay hostess, Miss Peggy Rastiello.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hearsay. I'm Peggy Rastiello, and tonight I'm interviewing George Tacomas. George is interested in becoming a professional artist someday. George is 18 and lives in Willow Grove, and has been with CINEKYD for about 2 years now. He is currently working in the graphics miniatures department. George, how long have you been interested in art?
Oh, gee, ever since I can remember. I was really little. I've been drawing ever since I could pick up a pencil.
What aspect of art are you interested in? What in particular?
I'm interested in doing storyboards and layouts, and stuff like that. And, I like to do concept drawings. For motion pictures, and I'm planning a motion picture I want to do in the summer.
Are you interested in directing also?
I'm more interested in technical cinematography and some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. But I really like to draw. And
Tell me about this film that you're planning on doing. Have you done storyboards for it yet?
Well, I've done some concept drawings for it. And,
what is a concept drawing?
A concept drawing is coming up with an idea or designing a character or a creature or something and putting the elements in for a scene.
What kinds of creatures have you designed? Could you just give me an idea?
There was one creature I designed. It's kind of a combination of reptile and whatever else you can think of. It's
a whole lot of things.
Yeah, there's really no name for it, but I also designed from some ideas from books a robot for the movie, and what I try to do is use the ideas and the terrain and the stuff. Like this movie takes place on another planet and it's really rough, and I try to use those ideas to design the robot or creature or character or whatever, and then put them in like a scene, picture what the scene would look like in my head, and put it down on paper so I have something to go to.
Oh, and you want to do this professionally?
Yeah, I'd like to try it, see what it's like.
What was I going to ask you? Oh, what types of things do you draw? Aside, where do you get your inspiration from?
One of my biggest influences was Ralph McQuarrie, who did concept drawings for Star Wars, and he did concept drawings and storyboarding for Star Wars. And he also worked on, if you remember the NBC and CBS stuff on the space shuttle, the animations. When they gave you the simulations, what it was like, he worked on the art for that. And but the work I really liked was the stuff he did for Star Wars. I like his technique.
Is there a lot of money in that field?
From what I hear, yes.
Could that have anything to do with your interest in it? No.
Not as much. No, it's just the idea of drawing. I like art, and I'm trying to make myself more open to different.
You're interested in space and
I like doing
fantasy?
Space. Yeah, I'm also trying to pick up some tips. I've picked up a lot of tips from other people, and I'm practicing on doing people. I wasn't the greatest on people, but I'm practicing at it.
Do you draw from models, or do you draw from pictures?
I like to draw from pictures. I have drawn from a few models, and that was up in my commercial art class at tech school.
You have commercial art?
I take commercial art at tech school, and I've been there for 3 years.
What is commercial art?
Okay, commercial art is the field of advertising. Okay, say I had a client come to me. This is what we do in tech school. And I had a client come, and they wanted a project on, say a T-shirt or something, a design for a T-shirt. They give us the ideas, we put it down on paper, and from there we make mechanical. And
what is a mechanical? Fill me in.
Putting all the elements of your ideas of color, line art, and separating them, the different colors and the line art and everything, on overlays. The overlays are separate the color, and
right, yeah.
And then it's sent over to the graphic artist, and they take it and photograph every element of it, and burn it onto a plate with an arc light, and then they can run it off on the presses from the plates.
Oh, so they can print it for you?
Right.
You set it up, and then the graphic artist prints it.
Right. They see if there's any mistakes, any errors in the negatives or anything, and they come back to us and tell us.
What kind of artwork do you do outside of your commercial art? Like, what medium do you work in?
I just started working with airbrush and finding it really a lot of fun.
What is your project? What are you airbrushing now?
I finished a project a short time ago, Whiplash movie poster.
Oh yeah, I saw it. It was very good.
Thank you. And that was a challenge. That was kind of an off-the-wall project, and I wasn't sure. I was just kind of calling the shots as I went along.
Mm-hmm. How did you start to do that? I mean, when you sat down and decided you were going to do the poster, what did you, how did you start
Okay.
and work towards the finished product?
Okay, the first thing I did was get some photos of different characters in the movie, and then I tried to figure out a layout. And I like the Star Wars posters.
Yeah.
And I liked the layout for that, the way they had the villain and the
Darth
other
Vader in the
characters,
background.
and the other ones in the foreground.
Right.
And I figured I'd use that because it was really catchy, and it was a nice, smooth layout that flowed nicely. And I took that and took El Diablo, put him in like the place of Darth Vader, and like Joey Klussman, Toby Reed in the place of Luke Skywalker and stuff like that. And worked around that. And after I finally finished the main drawing of the characters, I outlined it in Pantograph pen. It's a mechanical pen.
Okay.
And then from there, I wasn't sure what kind of medium I was going to use. And
you did the drawing on the board, and then
Right.
you did your background around that? Or did you do your background first? Like you said, you airbrushed. What
okay,
did you
that
airbrush
comes
on it?
last. That would come last. Okay, what you have to do is, in some cases, in some paintings, you have to make masks for your artwork. Like a friend of mine, I was helping him with a project he was working on of the Enterprise. And he wanted to put a glow around the ship and everything, so what we have to do is we have to cut a mask of a piece of paper, tracing paper, it's the exact shape of the ship.
Right.
And glue it down with like a rubber cement or something that won't tear the artwork up. And spray around it. And then from there you can go on.
Is that what you did with Whiplash?
Okay,
posters?
Whiplash, that wasn't the case because I wanted to give it an old look. And like the old yellow pictures.
Right.
From,
Okay.
And I wanted to do the faces and everything. So the only thing I had to mask off was the bottom part where the titling was. So from that, the medium I used was Prismacolor pencils, which was a very long, tedious job.
Only because it has such a big area.
Right, and it was, sometimes I regretted doing it, but it turned...
It came out nicely, yeah.
I was pleased with it. From that, I went with the airbrush. I had to experiment with some colors. I finally decided what I wanted to use, but I couldn't find the color. So I used different things like Dr. Martin's dyes to like an ink, and it wasn't the right color. And I tried coffee, which coffee.
Coffee?
Yes, coffee. I knew you'd be surprised at that, but coffee. See, my commercial art teacher was doing a piece of artwork years ago, and she spilled coffee on it, and
it ruined it.
No,
No?
She worked the coffee into the picture because the color had blended in with everything else, and she just blended in with everything, and it came out really, really nice. And I had spilled some, a while ago, I had spilled some stuff on an artwork. It was like a juice. I'm not sure what color it was, but I worked that into it, and it came out okay.
You could start a whole
except
new
it
style of
stained.
art with that.
Right. Yeah, you can use a lot of different things. A lot of people I know use vegetable coloring and vegetables like beet juice and stuff like that.
What did you finally end up using?
Okay,
for
I
that?
finally ended up using food coloring.
Food coloring.
And, yeah.
Okay.
And,
I always thought artists used paint, but
paint isn't always the last resort.
No.
But I decided to use food coloring. I just blended the colors, mixed them until I got what I wanted, and then used the airbrush to spray it on.
It came out. It was beautiful. I remember seeing that. What do you want to do in the future? What do you see yourself doing?
Well, I do want to go to college. I do want to study communications, go into communications. And
Any place in particular you're planning on going?
I'm planning on to Montgomery County Community College.
Monaco, it's easier.
Monaco, right. Okay, and from there, I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but I'll make my plans from there. And I'm also thinking about going to some art school. I'm not sure where, because I do want to pick up some more practice in art.
Have you ever entered any contests or won any prizes for your artwork?
No, I haven't won any prizes for my artwork. That was mostly because errors were made or something. But years back when I was in grade school, or elementary school, I should say, we were, they used to have an art show every year.
And you entered it.
I entered it, and I did a clay sculpture of a mongoose and a cobra fighting. And it was set inside of a box, and I had the background painted and everything.
It was a diorama.
Right. And the clay models were in the foreground. And I had entered that into the show. My dad had helped me, give me suggestions with some stuff. He hadn't really helped me. I mean,
he didn't do it.
Right,
he didn't
do it. I did it. He just suggested it. And when I entered it, I thought it was a sure shot winner. And I found out that I didn't win, and why. It really disappointed me. The reason I didn't win was because they thought I had a great deal of help from my parents and my father, and they didn't think I did it on my own, because it turned out really good. It really was good.
That doesn't mean that you didn't do it.
Yeah, it was back in God, I don't remember what grade it was.
Well, have you entered anything recently?
Last year I entered a piece into Monaco. They had an art show, and it was a montage or collage, whatever. Montage would be more of it, of Star Wars and the Empire.
Did you
different
draw
pictures.
it?
I drew everything. It was a graphite picture, pencil drawing, and my mistake was not putting a border around it, and so it could be mounted.
Right.
And I drew everything to the edge. And I had asked my teacher if she can mount it. She said she'll see what she can do. And it was kind of a mistake. It was both of our faults in a way. But what she did is she had cut the edges of it, else she could put it into a frame she had. And it kind of disappointed me. But when I think about it, I kind of laugh at it now. It's because
to do.
Yeah, right. Because I just learned from my mistakes.
Are you planning on entering any contests in the future?
Yes, I do want to enter at Monaco again. I want to enter some work I did. I'm thinking about entering the Whiplash poster and some other work I've done.
Well, what are your plans? Do you want to have your own gallery? Do you really Picasso? Do you want to paint chapel ceilings?
Oh, no, not that. I
just want to make movies?
just want to work with movies and do storyboards and try that out.
You're going to be the next Walt Disney in animation?
I'd like to.
There's a goal for you. Thank you, George. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this week on Hearsay with my guest, George Tacomas. I'm Peggy Rastiello, and I hope you will join us again for the next edition of Hearsay. Good night.
That dark, dark mansion on the edge of town, seated upon the moors. And once again, we pursue the ghost of Telford Mansion.
I knew you'd be feeling better. Certainly do like it better down there than down here than up there.
Well, you're all rested up now.
Yeah, I'll call Winston to get us some refreshments.
See, you're up and around already.
I knew you'd be feeling a lot better. Hey, darling. How are you?
Cromwell?
All done.
Where is Richardson?
Richardson? He left hours ago.
No, he was here only a couple minutes ago. And he had scratches on his face.
Scratches? What kind of scratches?
I don't know, sort of like an animal.
Animal? Like a dog or a cat?
No. It was more Zelda was going to take care of it.
I don't know.
Didn't you hear all the commotion?
We were upstairs, but we didn't hear anything. I was just going to call Winston. Maybe he knows something about this. You might as well take a seat. He's going to bring us some refreshments, and maybe he can explain.
I've never seen gashes so big. Are you sure you didn't hear anything?
No, we didn't hear anything. Winston, have you seen Richardson or Aunt Zelda?
No, Richardson went home hours ago. And Aunt Zelda, she retired for the night.
No. Richardson was here only a couple minutes ago. I went outside and checked my car, came back, and he's disappeared.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
This time we're not going to play games with you, Winston.
That's right. He was seriously injured, and I saw it. That boy needs medical attention. Now, if you have him locked up in a closet...
Nonsense. Miss Parsh, I'll get you refreshments.
Hey, Bobby. How's it going? My mom let me out for the night. What do you want to do? I don't know. Want to go to the movies?
No, Larry, I don't think that's a good idea. There's been so many things going on here tonight.
I agree. He's not going anywhere tonight.
In the very near future, many more characters will be entering the mysterious Telford mansion for reasons of their own. And now, here's a look at some of those characters.
6 brave schoolchildren have come to Telford Mansion. Gerald Vincent, the class's president, Lucy Toolittle, the group's scholar, Daisy Tricep, somewhat of a tomboy, Barbie Mattel, an adamant boy chaser, Billy Nagel, a future scientist, and Francis Noonan, a first-rate apple polisher. What fate awaits them in the dark halls of Telford Mansion? Myrtle During, one of the neighborhood ladies, and Sylvia Ashley Dilks, an area socialite, have come to Telford Mansion for more than a mere social visit. Will they confirm the rumors they've heard? Will they ever spread a rumor again? Claiborne Digby, an ambitious local reporter, and his expert photographer, Randy Yates, have come to find the real story behind Telford Mansion's many mysteries. Will they be lucky enough to get their exclusive, or lucky enough to get out alive? The mysterious Zelda Park and the sinister Richardson hold many surprises for their unexpected visitors. But the guests are unaware of one dark secret, one they'll never wish to find out.
And now, from Telford Mansion to another place not found on every map. Tonight's program just would not be complete without a visit with the one and only Uncle Flywheel.
I hate rain.
So do I. Me too.
Maybe we can watch TV.
Man, it's broken.
Well, what can we do on a rainy day?
Maybe we could play a game.
No, we always end up fighting.
But if the rain stops, then we can go outside and play.
No, the weatherman said it's going to rain today and tomorrow.
Oh, no.
What's the matter?
It's raining out.
There's nothing to do. We're bored. I wish the rain would stop.
Well, Stuart, I'm sorry that you and the Tiny Helpers feel that way. I thought today would be a perfect day. Since it is raining out, to learn something new to do indoors.
Something new? What?
Well, we're going to learn to make puppets out of paper and pencils.
Puppets out of paper and pencils.
Mm-hmm. Help me get the things out. Okay. The first thing we need is construction paper. Okay. And some pencils. Okay. Some rulers, just in case, and some markers. Now, we're also going to need scissors and thumbtacks. Be careful with these. I'll leave the thumbtacks over here until we need them. Okay. We've got construction paper, pencils, rulers, markers, and scissors.
Now, Uncle Flywheel, there's something wrong here on the table. Now, we have the scissors and the markers and the rulers and the paper. But those pencils aren't sharpened.
Good observation, Stuart. Normally, we'd be using the pencils to write with, but today, we're going to use the pencils as the motors for our puppets.
Motors for puppets?
The motors for our puppets. Let's get started. Now, the first thing you need is a piece of construction paper. Any color will do. I happen to like this one. And you need a marker. Now, on the paper, draw a figure. It can be a person or an animal, but it should have a head and arms, body and legs.
That's pretty good, Uncle Flywheel.
Thank you, Jimbo. I'm no artist. I'm sure many of the boys and girls at home can do better than I can.
Who is it? Is it you?
I certainly hope not, Bruno.
Why?
Well, I'll let the drawing speak for itself.
Well, then who is it?
Well, Stuart, I think we'll call him Mr. Jones. Okay. Now, the next thing we have to do is to cut it out. Now, for you boys and girls who aren't too used to using scissors, maybe Mom and Dad should help you with this. We cut along the outlines of the drawing, being careful not to cut on the inside of the line. Now, this would take a couple minutes, so instead of that, I just happen to have one that I prepared earlier.
Hey! Is that back there the whole time?
The entire time, Stuart. I thought maybe I'd better come up with something, just in case you and the tiny helpers were bored.
Thanks, Uncle Flywheel.
That's okay. We're also going to need the thumbtacks. Now what we do is take a thumbtack, put it in the center of our figure, and then take a pencil and put the thumbtack into the eraser. And we have a puppet.
Wow, pretty neat.
Now, I want you all to take a marker and a piece of paper, and let's see what you can come up with. I'm Mr. Jones.
Hi, I'm Mr. Tinsel. And I'm Gargantua. Animal.
Hi, I'm Mr. Boppy.
Mr. Boppy?
Well, you said we could use our imagination.
Mr. Boppy?
I kind of like it.
Very well. Mr. Boppy.
Mr. Jones, I'm afraid of animal. He bites. I'm scared too. Afraid.
I'm not afraid of animal, because I'm Mr. Boppy.
There's nothing to be afraid of. He's just a paper puppet.
Tell animal that. He didn't tell me that. Paper puppet.
We're all paper puppets, even Mr. Boppy.
That's all part of the fun, too. Not only making the puppet, but creating characters and voices and situations for them. Oh, I see by the old cuckoo clock that it's about time to wrap things up again.
Oh.
So, on behalf of the tiny helpers, Stuart, and our new friends, always remember our motto. Each one, reach one. Good night.
Bye. This is Stuart. I'd like to remind you that CINEKYD has a real neat coloring book featuring drawings of Uncle Flywheel, Enrico, Frano, Jimbo, and of course me. The first annual Uncle Flywheel coloring book is yours free. Just give us a call at 659-4696 and we'll see that you get your free copy. You can also obtain the coloring books every Saturday night at CINEKYD's Family Movie Night. Thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you next week.
I'd like to thank you for being with us this evening. I suppose it would be most appropriate at this time to share with you the best wishes for a happy, healthy holiday season. From Bob Clark, good night and God bless.